Today I'll be cutting down my 10 weeks wolf, and I'll be showing y'all what I do before and after the haircut to maximize progress. I was gonna wash my hair last night. I always stress you should usually wash your hair the night before you get a haircut. Unless you really know what we're doing. I kind of know what I'm doing, so last time I was like, I'm just gonna go to bed. I don't really feel that too good. So this morning I woke up late as well. It's 9:18. Our appointment is at 12:45, and you need around 3 to 4 hours for your hair to be completely dried. And I've been wolfing for 10 weeks, so I have a lot of hair. This is probably my second longest wolf ever. In order to speed up the process of my hair drying, after I finish the washing style, I'm gonna let my hair dry with the wet do-rag for around an hour, and then I switch out the wet do-rag, just like the Hatman method, switch out the wet do-rag for a dry do-rag, and then that exponentially decreases the drying time. Okay, now we're currently in the bathroom, and here I'm just combing out my hair. And as you can see, I think this was about an 8 weeks wolf. So when you're wolfing for a long time, this is probably the best way to check like how long your wolf is, just to comb it back. I only like to comb it out in the front for two reasons. One, I have two forks around my hairline, and two, your top of your head is usually going to be the most like developed part of your waves, because probably the place you're putting in the most brush strokes. So it's naturally, right, because it's in the top of your head. So you just want to be very careful when you're combing out the rest of your hair. So I think it's completely fine to comb out the little top of your head, just, to check your wolf. And, my thing was pretty long. Pause. So, yeah. All right. So next, I had to use this As I Am shampoo. I like As I Am as a brand. It's more on the natural side. But, typically you want to be using a shampoo bar to get your best lather possible. I just went ahead and skipped to the second wash. And yes, shampoo bars are probably the best thing, because you get the best lather possible, best control, and you're usually, all healthy and with like natural products and stuff like that. So it's good for your hair health in general. You see what I'm doing here? I took the sharpest comb I had, because that was the tip of this. I forgot what a tool instructor comb is the name of this comb, and that's the sharpest tip. So I'm really able to shape my crown into place, because as y'all may or may not know, that's not my real crown. That's an artificial crown, right? I made that crown as I was brushing. Rookie mistake, but 2 years, 3 years later, I have to find a way to get flawless waves by doing that, and this is just one of the methods I'm able to do in order to get my crown in place. And as you can see throughout this wash, I am focusing on my crown a lot. That's because your crown is the foundation to your waves. The crown is the most important part of your wave pattern, no matter what anyone else tells you. It's like building a house on sand versus building it on a concrete foundation. If your crown's messed up, your whole pattern gonna be messed up, no matter what. And it's not the sexiest part of your waves to look at, regardless, or to brush, unless you have like a swirl. So it's like, I just want to get my sides and I just want to get my top and my back in. BBL jersey, no fault. But you see what I mean here. But when you get your crown in, the rest of your pattern will flow too. So all beginners, everybody in every stage of waving, I'm gonna always tell you, focus on that crown. Once your crown is right, everything will be right in time. Just if the crown angles are good, everything else is good. I know it's annoying for me to keep stressing this, but your crown really is that important. As you see, as I'm brushing from the crown and just going down my whole pattern, I don't even have to I already, you have 8 angles for like a beehive, but I kind of just know how to follow it, because my angles for my beehive are so good because they're based off of my crown. So after, I'm not sure how long I brush here, probably for around 20 minutes. Go ahead and just take the extra lather from your brush and lay down your pattern. Now this is the hardest part of washing style, because you want to make sure that everything's perfectly in place, especially when it's the last washing style for your wolf. You want your waves to be looking the best it possibly can. So you want to put them in the best place possible. The washing style method is going to do that. But in the end of your washes, I would literally spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Oh my gosh, my editor's showing me 10 minutes, 15 minutes trying to get my waves back in place. Just to make sure there's 0 blemishes, because the way your hair dries is the way it would be when it's dried. And that's really bad news if you're getting a haircut the same day. And this is a little tip I learned from Jeezy to brush your hairline down, especially when you're wolfing, especially before you get a haircut. It makes it a lot easier for the barber to line you up. He doesn't have to comb it back and your hair is receding. It's good to do that. Then when you're applying the do-rag, please be extra, extra, extra careful of what you're doing. Then if you make any mistakes here,
especially a day like this where I'm going to the barber, well, supposed to be going to the barber the same exact day, and you don't want to go to that barber chair, find out your hair is all messed up, then your barber has to cut it. So just make sure every single time you do a wash and style that you're paying attention to how you're ragging up, right? This, and I'm wearing the same do-rag in this. But please pay attention. Make sure you do it right. I saw this, my editor sent this to me. You guys know that guy with the Nair cream? He has a do-rag tutorial now, so check that out if you will.
You guys are always asking for a do-rag tutorial, so this is how I personally put on my do-rags.
I'm just warning you. You probably don't want to watch any of those videos. I'm not even sure this should say in this video, but that was just pretty interesting. And when I'm rolling up the back flat, that's very important because the back flat, the way I roll it up like this, so I have like the perfect tightness around my entire head. But it holds a lot of water, especially because this do-rag is literally my first like high quality silky do-rag. This do-rag is like 3 years old. It's older than some of my siblings, so, and it's kind of, the back is kind of stretched out. So I'm gonna do a method later on so we don't have to deal with a wet do-rag in general. So here, this is also very important, especially the worst products you're using. In general, is very important. You want to make sure that you're getting a thorough rinse and you're not messing up your hair when you're rinsing it. I put on a mesh wave cap so my hair is in place, so I don't like mess it up by accident. Because you want to be, in order to get a thorough rinse, you really want to be tapping and making sure it's good. So here, I promise you, I'm not naked, bro. This is the sussest clip I probably ever had to record for YouTube. But I just want to show you and demonstrate how to get a real thorough rinse. Because, like, especially, you don't want to mess with your barber's clippers, no matter how natural your shampoo bar is. If I go in there and I still got products in my hair, I'm gonna mess up my hair health, gonna mess up my barber's clippers, and it's gonna be an ugly cut in general. So make sure you get all that soap, shampoo completely out of your hair. It's very important that you do so.
Okay, it's been a couple hours and I am extremely off schedule. Now my haircut is in less than an hour and yeah, my hair is still completely wet. I ended up waiting until like 10:30 to wash my hair. I just like got sidetracked and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty bad. So what I'm gonna do now is quickly switch on my do-rag. I had this wave cap on the entire time. It's mesh, so it's not as bad, but yeah, I'm fumbling. So let me hurry up and switch my do-rag up for a clean. Are these do-rags even clean, bro? Okay, I think this one is, yeah, this clean. Yeah, okay. I remember I washed my do-rags like last week, and I don't think I wore that one yet. So I'm just gonna go ahead, hurry up, and unrag. I'm gonna be very careful. If I make one mistake, bro, I'm gonna have to cancel my appointment. I'm so serious. So, my hair is still pretty wet. If I make one mistake, appointment's done. Video over. Okay, with a little wave check. I don't have time for that. I'm gonna be very careful when I'm putting this on. Very careful. I don't even put this up for these type of do-rags, but the goal is to have my hair still completely in place. Because the way you wash your hair is the way it's gonna like come out, right? Especially if you cut it, the way you wash your hair is gonna be permanent, you know, if that makes any sense. So it's like if I wash my hair and I mess up something, then I cut it down, it's gonna like stay there, right? So you don't want that to happen. So this wash was to make sure that everything was 100% in place. So I want my waves to look best after the wash, so I can basically take a picture of that, and it'll be like that after the cut. The wash before the cut is extremely important, so make sure you're not snoozing on that. Okay. And after this, we'll just get to the voiceover over the haircut, and then after that, I'll show y'all what to do after the haircut, because after the haircut is very, very important for two reasons. One, so you know your waves look good. I'm not going out or anything, so I don't really have a reason to look good. So two, to make progress, because I'm trying to get flawless waves, and I'll give you a little fork and pattern update as well once we get there. So, Okay, so my barber just called me and he said that the barber shop hasn't had power in 3 hours and I'm gonna have to reschedule for tomorrow, which kind of sucks, but my hair is still kind of wet. I did cut it too close, so I guess it would mess up my waves a little bit if I did cut it now. Yeah, around this time I'm beginning to cut. But yeah, that kind of sucks, but good news is my hair will be completely dry tomorrow, so I catch up with you guys tomorrow to continue this messed up vlog.
Now, as you can see, we finally made it to the barber chair. I remember I was a little bit sick the day before, but you know, take off the do-rag, and the waves are busting. The waves are busting. I kept my do-rag on the entire time. So if your appointment gets canceled and you already washed your hair, instead of having to wash your hair again, just keep your do-rag on. Don't apply any products. The only product you can apply is a very light all-natural oil. And only use a soft brush. Don't want to waste any more time. If you get in another session, it basically means you have to wash your hair again. So don't do that. So here, my barber's just combing out my hair, going with my pattern. You see, my barber, he used to be an elite waver, right? I think to this day, his best pattern is way better than mine's. And to this day, when he called me, he said he was starting up, getting waves again. So I'm gonna go ahead when I get a cut again in like about 2 days. I'm gonna go ahead and give him some free do rags, you know. But here he's going through with my pattern. It's very important that your barber does this. Elite, if he was an elite waver or not, no matter his skill level. I mean, if he's not skilled enough to comb with your pattern correctly, you shouldn't have him as your barber. Your barber is very important. So now he's starting to cut me down. As you cut for YouTube videos, a lot of people that to go against the grain, make it look fancy or cool, whatever, for clickbait, whatever. Not even clickbait, but just to have it more eye popping and like more eye candy. But this is the unsexy version. It's just you're going by your crown and the light areas of your head, and you're cutting with a higher guard on those areas, and then going down in the guard as you go on until your stronger areas. But for me here, I want to go on one more wolf session. I want to get back into wolfing again. So, and I don't want to mess up my top right crown area. So when my barber goes ahead and he gives me a 2.5 with the grain all around my entire head. So this way, my very, very light area that's causing me a lot of problems by my crown, which is actually my real crown, which is causing all the problems to begin with. He makes sure to be extra, extra careful as he's cutting that down. So I'm going with a very high guard, way above my curl length. Most people curl lengths are around a 2 with the grain, depending on your hair texture. And he's making sure, as you can see, he's paying a lot of attention. He's going slow on that area. He knows what to do. He doesn't want to do this. This is very annoying. I'm probably the only client he has who has to like be careful that he doesn't mess up my waves when it's my own fault why it's like that. But get you a barber like this, man. Like I said, like I was saying, your barber is so important for your wave journey. Your barber making one mistake on your hair can ruin months and like 2 months of progress. Is a whole nother woe session. And then you go back to the same barber, then he makes the same mistake again, which usually that mistake is cutting you too low. So I know cutting low is so everybody wants to cut low. It looks so good. But bro, it's delayed versus instant gratification. I wanted to cut low here. I really wanted to cut low. Because last time he cut me low, it looked really good. And I had some crazy pictures, nice four ways. And it did. I posted a picture on a Facebook page for waving, and that did pretty well for my kill shot. But we all want to cut low, right? But I want to make progress. You want to make progress. The only way to get waves is by having curls that lay down. If your hair is low, you don't have any curls to lay down. Your hair curls at a certain length, depending on your hair texture. For most of us, that's around a 2. A 2 is still undercutting it. I would say around a 2.3, which is not a real guard. That's like a 2 open. So I wanted to cut low, went ahead and cut high because I know I'm on a journey to get flawless waves. This is how I'm documenting my journey to get flawless waves on YouTube. I mean, on long form videos instead of if you're watching the shorts and the reels and the TikToks, if you follow those, you know about that my journey to get flawless waves. One day like 1:30 an hour, something like that. So, in order to get to my goal quicker, which I want to do it pretty quickly, we have to grow our hair out. We have to cut higher. We have to we have to concede to this. This whole thing was like, oh, I want to cut low. It looks so good to cut low. Yo, when you cut low, it looks great for around 2, 3, maybe 4 days, and after that, you get to experience a bunch of problems because waves are supposed to be a long hairstyle. So here now he's going ahead with the taper. Now the taper is pretty important. When I asked when I asked my barber for the type of taper I like to ask for is a high-low taper. As I always say, I like to cut high, bro. Like at the end of the day, I get cuts to look better, to look good, and to get a low taper, they don't look good. Technically, that's the best thing for my waves, but bro, since 2022, I've been getting high tapers. I've been getting low drop fades. Look at my right side. Maybe if you're like a Facebook waver in some way where like, oh, you can, if you cut lower, you get a shoreline. But it's deep. Waving is very serious to me, obviously, but it's not that deep, right? It doesn't really affect my pattern. And like for my left side, for example, it's already super strong. So it's like, why not? Just get the high taper, look better. If you're not elite yet, I would say get the medium taper. But once you feel like you're elite, go ahead and try the high taper. Don't get it too high, but just experiment. Everybody's hair is different. Everybody's hair texture is different. So you really just want to experiment and find what's best for you. I found that the best type of taper isn't even a high taper. I didn't even like the high tapers. It's the sort of low high tapers. I love those. I maybe put up a picture on. Well, my haircut is a low high taper. So as you see in the results, I found that looks best. That's the perfect balance between looks and progress. Okay, because it's not a barber channel, I don't really know much about haircuts, so we're gonna skip all the other stuff and we're gonna go back to the end. All right, as you can see, the lineup is nice. That's the natural lineup, but as you can see, the spray, I call it blackout. I think it's called the Beijing. It's very controversial. It doesn't really have to do with your wave progress that much, but I found a way. Okay, so 360 Juice, he released a do-rag like 2 years ago, and it's like a weird type of satin. Because I find even when I use do-rags like this, the blackout kind of sticks to the do-rag, but when I use his specific do-rag, I'm able to preserve the Beijing in my hair, and it like stays to my hairline, and I'm able to extend my cut for a while. So get blackout if you want. It's not a big deal if you don't get it. It just all depends on like how good your barber is, and I feel like my barber has the perfect mix of being skilled and enhancements. So here are the results of the cut. I think it looks pretty nice. My waves don't look the best just because it's higher. It's gonna look better as I lay it down. So when you see the results after I do my first brush session, then you see how much better it looks. But the cut was pretty good if I do say so myself. So here is sort of the main session I'm doing after the cut. As you can see, like I said, the results will look a lot better once my hair, is laid down and stuff like that. And it looks pretty good. Like, I usually don't like cutting down high because I kind of feels like it kind of mess up your waves a little bit. There's like a little bit of frizz and stuff like that. But it gets solved once your hair is trained and once you do that brush session. So I'm gonna use this all natural. I'm only using natural products here. Everything I'm using here I think is from 216 Wavy. They just sent me a bunch of products like that, and it's been my favorite brand for a long time, as y'all know. And I need to get a new soft brush, which I did, but I've been using that softy for around 2 years, so I love it. So here I'm just gonna apply a light oil, and it smells pretty good. And just make sure the products you're using aren't toxic to your hair. If they are, just switch to natural products. It really doesn't matter what you use, but this is just what I'm using here. So first, I'm gonna go in with a blonde bristle soft brush. I feel like blonde bristles better apply product throughout your waves, and this soft brush has a little bit more pull. So because I just cut my hair down, it's gonna be a lot lower and a lot more sensitive to the hardness of the brushes. So I'm gonna go ahead and just use this brush. I think I use a total of 3 soft brushes here, but this soft brush feels like a medium brush on my hair, if that makes any sense. So here, as I'm doing my strokes, I don't count my brush strokes, honestly. I've never been a fan of that. I never really liked that. I know it used to be sort of an advanced tactic before it got popularized, or it used to be a beginner tactic, but I don't like counting my brush strokes. As you can see, my pattern is starting to really, take shape, especially the left side looks pretty nice, and the top is finally starting to look nice. Because those 2 forks at the bottom of my hair, bro, they used to be all the way up here. And I don't, dude, the story of how I got those forks, I literally got the same set of forks twice. As a story for a whole nother day. If I get those same set of forks again, I'm literally scalping. I'm so serious when I say that. And here's my weak side, my top right, which needs a lot more work. That's where now the crown is really coming back to bite me in the butt because that's like where all the problems are coming. I think I have 2 forks there that's not really well connected. And that's really the main blemish on my waves. I have gotten that side to look really good. I believe we will get flawless and I will get that side to look good along with the rest of my pattern. But for now, that's what we got to work on. And really, the way to do that is to be consistent and to focus the highest percentage on your brush strokes on your weak side. And make sure you're angling it right. So I'm got to be doing diagrams in my wave community, in my school community. Like, if you post your waves in there, you automatically get a diagram, and me and the other elite wavers tell you, how to improve. That's what I need to do for myself here. Making diagrams and really studying your waves is one of the best things you can do because it's pretty easy to do and it's quite fun. And it's like you can predict your progress. It's kind of like keeping a log. So here the back, I used to have a lot of problems with my back, but using hard brushes, I think using a hard brush is the best thing I did. Bro's fighting his demons. Bro, did Kendrick, by the way, who won? Kendrick or Drake? I'm not gonna, you know what? I feel like Drake won. Lyrically, Drake won, culturally Kendrick one. But I'm right here. As you're brushing, I do think it's good to listen to music and stuff like that. But sometimes you just need complete silence in the zone. And when I'm recording this video, since my camera broke, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I like my main thing I like to do when I'm brushing is put on a YouTube video, some sports, something. I don't whatever you're into, maybe a podcast. But sometimes you need a little bit more entertainment, sometimes an album, but sometimes you're really dialed in and locked into your session. And so you just start saying random song lyrics and it looks like you're fighting your demons. But here, I said this before in some random video, but most YouTubers, when they're brushing, they kind of brush with a mirror like this. It used to be an old practice when brush videos were more popular. And when it makes it easier to look in the camera, but harder for you to brush your waves. So what I prefer doing and what I recommend doing instead is putting your camera like this, how I'm brushing for most of this video, because I found a way where I can kind of record it. I still got to perfect my angles and stuff like that for recording so you guys can see. But brushing like this, you're able to see your whole pattern, and it concentrates on your crown. The reason that's important is because your crown is the most important part of your pattern. So yeah, it's the best way to brush in my opinion. So now we're here with an even softer soft brush, and here I'm really just doing this to polish up my waves. When your waves kind of look like this, to get it more straight and laid down. And it's all about laying down your hair at the end of the day. That's really what waves are, laid down curls. And because my hair is super low, can use these softies. And I just got these new brushes too, so it's like I gotta go ahead and use them. I've been asking 2-6 to make a super soft brush for a long time. He used to have one a long time ago, but I missed it. I didn't have waves back then. So now he came out with another super soft brush. And I think he went on a live stream last month and he just gave away like 10 of them just for free, just randomly. So that's good. In my school community, we'll be doing giveaways sponsored by 2-6 as well. Just to give back, and like if you don't have certain products or stuff like that, and it's fun to be sent products anyways. So it's like I guess depending on how many people join, you have a pretty high percentage of winning the giveaways. But what I like to do with super soft brushes as well, just fix out a little bit of my facial hair and stuff like that. I found super soft brushes also have an extra benefit with that. And here's my secret shine method. It's not much of a secret anymore, but take a lay down pad or your plastic bag, prefer a lay down pad, put a light oil on there. Don't want a thick one, a nice light one. Don't want it to be sticky. And then just apply, even if you already put oil, if you do this again, you're really able to polish up your waves. And I think I went out this night. No, I went out the next night. I think so. But every single time I go, I do the secret, my secret shine method. And, it just provides like a nice glaze to your hair. It's like if you're talking good about LeBron, it provides a nice glaze to your hair. But yeah, it kind of, that's really where you get the shiny thing from. I think this brush session with the 3 soft brushes is kind of modeled after this morning routine that 360 Juice did like 3 years ago, bro. I guess I'm a fan. But he used to have this morning routine where he used 3 different soft brushes and an oil. This is my version of that, where you're able to use the 3 different soft brushes, an oil, and then do the lay down method. So this is the do-rag I was talking about. It's not completely silky, so I guess the results on my waves won't be the best, but it preserves the cut for the longest amount of time. It literally preserves the cut until your hair starts to grow back. I don't think he sells these do-rags anymore, but what you can do instead is use a mesh do-rag, and it might have worse effects on the top of your waves, but I guess you can interchange between a mesh do-rag and this type of do-rag, the normal silkies you want to be using. Food for thought, though. I'm not sure how much I recommend that. It's just completely experimental. I can do that for you guys and see how it goes and probably put that in the community as well. So now we're ragging up. Now, ragging up is always important, how you do it. You never want to mess up your waist, but it's even more important, when you're doing that washing style. So make sure you're ragging up correctly. So after you ragged up, you want to wait after a fresh cut around 30 minutes or so before you unrag and show the results. Show yourself the results. So at least an hour before you go out, whatever, you want to, do your brush session and stuff like that. And double compressing after a haircut is a really smart thing to do as well, because it helps lay down those extra prickly hairs even better. And I never double compress for anything other than those 2 16 wave caps. And here are the results after around 30 minutes of compressing it, and it looks pretty good. They look pretty good, And, you know, this is the maximum, this is the peak of the haircut, I feel like. After this is when you should go out. Make sure you don't got that do-rag line on your head. Just be very careful with that do-rag line. The best way to get rid of them, I think, I really don't know how to get rid of them. I just like rub my hair. I think somebody has a video on it. And then if you take a wet, warm cloth and you increase your blood flow on your forehead. But the thing is, none of this really matters if you don't do this consistently. So watch this video right here to see what a full day of consistent brushing looks like, which will allow you to get elite waves quickly. Thanks for watching. God bless.